Hello and welcome. It is April 14th of 1969, and the Cubs are continuing this 8-game homestand with Game 1 of 2 against the division-leading Pittsburgh Pirates. The Cubs coming in with a 2-4 record, facing the Pirates, who have a reciprocal 4-2 record. The Cubs are sending out to the mound today Bill Hands. He is making start number 2 on the season. He is 0-1 with a 6.75 ERA. And he will have a lineup behind him of Don Kessinger, Billy Williams, Ron Santo, Jim Hickman, Ernie Banks, Glenn Beckert, Randy Hundley, Adolfo Phillips, and the pitcher Hands batting ninth. The Pirates, who considered by some to be young, scrappy, and hungry, are going to have a lineup of Sean Fitzmaurice, Roberto Clemente, Willie Stargell, Kurt Taylor, Manny Sanguillen, Jose Pagan, Emerito Lopez, Bill Mazeroski, and pitcher Bob Moose on the mound. Moose is making start number 2. He is also 0-1 in the season with an ERA a little high at 23.63. I'm sure he'll be looking to get that down today. Now, as we start today's game, we are going to see the crowd filtering into Wrigley Field. Hands is on the mound, finishing his warm-up pitches, facing off against Sean Fitzmaurice. As we said, Pirates coming in with a division-leading 4-2 record, facing off against the Cubs, who come in with a 2-4 record. Early in the season, still a lot of time to make this difference up in the standings, and the Cubs looking to do that here today. Hands working with the first pitch. There's a liner into center field. Phillips on the run makes the catch for out number 1. Clemente now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count. And the pitch from Hands. Lined into left field. Williams on the run makes another nice catch, hustling to his left for out number 2. Willie Stargell now the batter. Playing first base for the Pirates today. Already 2 home runs on the season. He comes up with 2 outs and nobody on in a 1-1 count. Hands working. And here's the pitch. Stargell lines that one into left field. This time Williams plays it on a hop. That'll be a 2-out single for Stargell as he continues to be red hot this season. Bringing up Carl Taylor. 2 outs, 1 man on first, and a 2-2 count from Hands. Here's the pitch. Popped up to right. Hickman coming in, looking up high in the air and making the catch for out number 3. The Pirates strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the first with the Cubs coming up in a scoreless game. Kessinger facing Moose. Bottom of the first inning. Cubs leadoff batter with a 1-strike count, waiting for the pitch. Grounder toward first. Stargell has it, flips to the pitcher covering. However, Moose is late and Kessinger is safe. That's an infield single to start out the game for the Cubs. Billy Williams now batting. 9 for 26 on the season with a home run. And here's the first pitch from the Moose. Grounder towards second. Picked up, thrown to short, flipped back over to first, and that is a 4-6-3 double play. So the Pirates turn the twin killing, and that'll bring up Ron Santo with 2 outs and nobody on. Moose pitching to Santo with a 1-2 count. And Santo swings and misses for strike 3. So the Cubs go down, not exactly in order, but certainly retired with 3 batters. We go to the top of the second inning now of a 0-0 ball game. Manny Sanguillen, the Pirates catcher, is coming up now to face Bill Hands in the top of the second. Here's a 1-2 count, and Hands with the pitch. Grounder toward third. Santo scoops it up, fires it over to first, and that is out number 1. Pagan now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-1 count, and Pagan with the pitch. Lined up the middle, that's going to be a base hit into center field. That'll be a single for Pagan. So the Pirates have a runner on first with 1 out. Bringing up Amerito Lopez. 1 out, 1 man on, 1 ball count. Grounder toward third. Santo to Beckert to Banks, and that is a 5-4-3 double play. Hands faces the minimum. We go to the bottom of the second of a 0-0 ball game. Moose facing Hickman in the bottom of the second inning. 2-2 count. Hickman waiting for the pitch. Popped up left side in foul territory. The third baseman has it, and he makes the play for out number 1. Ernie Banks now the batter. Cubs number 5 hitter getting off to a slow start this season. Here's a 2-2 count. Banks waiting for the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with a fastball up, and Banks could not catch up with it. Glenn Beckert now the batter. 2 outs, nobody on. 2-2 count to Glenn Beckert. Here is the pitch. Lined into center field. That's going to be a 2-out single for Glenn Beckert. So stopping on first is Beckert, bringing up Randy Hundley. 2 outs, 1 man on. 1 strike count to Randy Hundley. Grounder towards short. Picked up. Throws over to second to get the lead runner, and that will end the inning. So the Pirates get out of the inning. The Cubs strand a runner. We go to the top of the third of a 0-0 game. Mazeroski is leading off for the Pirates in the top of the third. Here's a 1-1 count. Hands with the pitch. Grounder towards short. Kessinger drops it. Man, is that his third error of the season? So the Cubs shortstop Kessinger is charged with the error. Mazeroski is safe on first, and here's the pitcher, Moose. Nobody out. Moose looking to lay down the sacrifice. He tries to bunt, but he misses. So that is strike 1. The pickoff throw now goes to first. However, the runner gets back safely. Hands now pitching to, and there's the bunt laid down by Moose. Santo picks it up, throws over to first to retire the runner easily. That will be out number 1. Beckert was covering first, so that's a 5-4 putout. And now Fitzmaurice is the batter with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. 1 ball count. Here is the pitch from Hands. Grounder toward third. Santo looks the runner back, throws over to first, and that is out number 2. Clemente now the batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. 2-2 count to Roberto Clemente. And that is strike 3 swinging. Got a sinker down and in, and he just swung right over the top of it. So Hands works his way out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the third of a scoreless ball game. Adolfo Phillips leading off for the Cubs in the bottom of the third. Here's a 1-2 count, and Phillips waiting for the pitch. That is strike 3 called, a fastball right at 90. And Phillips just watched it go by. Bill Hands now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. 1-1 count to Hands. Lined into right field. Is that going to get down? No. That is chased down by Clemente, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Kessinger now batting. 2 outs, nobody on. Full count pitch to Kessinger, and that's lined up the middle for a 2-out single. Kessinger gets the base hit, stops on first, and it will bring up Billy Williams. Runner on first, 2 outs. First pitch to Billy Williams. Here it comes. Popped up, deep right center field, but I believe that's going to be caught on the warning track for out number 3. So Williams flies out to end the inning. The Cubs strand a runner. We go to the top of the fourth of a 0-0 ball game. Stargell leading off for the Pirates here in the top of the fourth. Here's a 1-1 count, and Stargell waiting for the pitch. Lined deep left field, this time on the warning track. Making the catch is Billy Williams on the run as he leaps at the ivy to pull that one in. That is out number 1. So Stargell hit it hard, but not quite deep enough. And now Taylor is the next batter. With 1 out, nobody on, and a full count pitch to Taylor. That is ball 4 low. So Hands issues his first walk of the day. And now Manny Sanguillen is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on, 2-2 count. Hands working. There's a liner down the left field line. This is going to be extra bases. Sanguillen rounding first, heading for second. Williams getting the ball back into the cutoff man. The runner rounding third and heading home. They're going to tag. The throw's going to go to third, however. And they are going to tag Sanguillen out at third for the second out of the inning. So that'll be scored as an RBI double, and then Sanguillen is retired, attempting to advance to third. The run scores. It is 1-0 Pittsburgh now in the top of the fourth inning. Pagan is the next batter. 2 outs and nobody on base. 2-1 count. Pagan waiting for the pitch. Popped up right center field this time. Phillips coming over. He calls off Hickman and he makes the catch for out number 3. Well, the Pirates score first. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning of a 1-0 ball game. Santo leading off against Moose for the Cubs. Moose, in 3 innings, has allowed 3 hits and 3 strikeouts in this game. Here's the first pitch to Ron Santo. Grounder towards second. Diving play, but then thrown away. Santo is going to round first and heading for second as the ball rolls into the dugout. So Mazeroski makes the error at second, and now the Cubs have a runner in scoring position, and Jim Hickman is the batter. Nobody out. Santo on second. Here's a full count pitch to Hickman. And that is ball 4. It is low. So the walk puts runners on first and second, and it brings up Ernie Banks. Nobody out. 2 men on. Banks stepping up. He has had a slow start to the season, but maybe he can break out of it here. 1 ball count. There's a grounder back toward the mound. The pitcher picks it up, throws over to first, and Banks beats it out for an infield single. With a rare display of speed, Ernie Banks beats the throw down to first base. The umpire calls him safe, so the Cubs have the bases loaded with nobody out. And now Glenn Beckert is the batter. Beckert facing Moose. 1 ball count. Infield drawn in. And a liner down the right field line. This is going to drive in a couple runs. 1 run is in. Another runner coming around. He is going to score. Banks stopping at third. Not wanting to show off the wheels, I guess. An RBI double for Glenn Beckert drives in 2. The Cubs now take a 2-1 lead. Randy Hundley now the batter. There are runners on second and third and still nobody out in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here's the first pitch to Randy Hundley, and he pops this one up to right field. I believe this is going to be very shallow. It's caught. Banks does not attempt to tag up and score. Clemente, with a good arm out in right field, gets it back in quickly. So Hundley flies out for the first out of the inning, and it brings up Adolfo Phillips. 1 out, 2 men on. First pitch to Phillips. Infield still drawn in, and they're going to intentionally walk Adolfo Phillips. So that will load the bases once again, and it bring up Bill Hands. So with the bases loaded and 1 out, the Cubs are going to call a squeeze bunt right here. With Banks on third, let's see how this goes. Here's the first pitch. The bunt is laid down. It goes back to the mound. The throw comes home. The squeeze play is on. And the runner is safe at home. So the Cubs score the run. The bases are still loaded. It is now 3-1 Chicago, as Hands actually gets credited with an infield single and an RBI. So Kessinger now the batter. Bases still loaded, only 1 out. And Don Kessinger stepping in from the left side. Pirates still have the infield drawn in. Kessinger grounds it to first. The throw comes home. The relay back to first, and that is a 3-2-3 double play, which is going to end the inning. The Cubs, however, score 3 times. They strand 2. We go to the top of the 5th of a 3-1 ball game. Hands now charged with protecting the 2-run lead here in the top of the 5th is going to face the lower third of the Pirates' order. Here's a 1-1 count. Hands with the pitch. Popped up, deep left field. Williams going back to the warning track, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So that is the first out of the inning. Deep left field on that fly ball, and Mazeroski now is the batter. 1 out, nobody on. 2-0 count from Hands. Here's the pitch. Grounder toward third. Diving Santo, but the ball gets by him down in the left field corner. This is going to be extra bases for Mazeroski. He slides into second with a double. Billy Williams getting the ball back into the cutoff man. And the Pirates now have a base runner here in the top of the 5th inning. So the pitcher, Moose, is the next batter. With 1 out and a runner in scoring position, Moose probably looking to lay down the sacrifice here. Full count. Hands with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with the sinker. That's been an effective pitch for Hands today. And now Fitzmaurice is the next batter with a runner on second and 2 out. That is 2 strikeouts on the day for Hands. 1-2 count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Once again, punching him out with the sinker. The Pirates runner is stranded. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning of a 3-1 ball game. Billy Williams leading off for the Cubs here in the bottom of the 5th. 0-2 count, Moose with the pitch. Grounder towards second, sharply hit, but right at the second baseman. The play is made, and the throw goes over to first for out number 1. Santo now batting. He's 0 for 2 today. Coming up with a 1-ball count and waiting for the pitch. Popped up behind first base. Stargell going out. He makes the catch in short right field for out number 2. Hickman now the batter. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Hickman. Liner up the middle. That's going to be a 2-out single for Jim Hickman. He's going to stop on first. And that'll give the Cubs a base runner with 2 outs, and Ernie Banks coming up. He is 1 for 2 today with an infield single. 2-0 count. Banks waiting for the pitch, and he lines that one into left field. He's got his second base hit of the ball game. A clean single, splitting the difference between the third baseman and the shortstop. And Banks is now standing on first, bringing up Glenn Beckert. He is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs today. Beckert comes up with 2 men on, 2 out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Cubs up by 2. Beckert waiting for the pitch. A grounder towards short. Scooped up. Thrown to second to get the middle base runner, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs get 2 base runners. They do not score. We're going to the top of the 6th of a 3-1 ball game. Roberto Clemente is going to lead off against Bill Hands here in the top of the 6th inning. Clemente coming up, 3-1 count, Hands with the pitch. Liner into right field. That's going to be a single for Clemente. Hickman cuts it off, gets it back into the infield. So Clemente on first to lead off the Pirates half of the 6th inning, bringing up Willie Stargell. Nobody out. 1 man on, 1 strike count. Stargell lines that one into left field, and Williams is going to play it on the hop. The Pirates have back-to-back singles to lead off the 6th. And that will bring up Taylor with nobody out, 2 men on. And I believe that is going to lead to some activity in the Cub bullpen. Here in the top of the 6th inning, we are going to see Ted Abernathy warming up in the Cub bullpen here in the top of the 6th. Hands working, first pitch, popped up, right center field. Phillips going over, calls off Hickman on the warning track. He makes the catch, and that is out number 1. Sanguillen now the batter with 1 out and 2 men on. Sanguillen facing Hands as the pitching coach comes out to have a moment with Bill Hands. Hands says, I am not tired at all. Let me stay in this game. So, Sanguillen facing Hands. First pitch, 2 men on, top of the 6th inning. There's a grounder up the middle. Beckert has it. Throws over to first, and that is out number 2. So they get the sure out over at first. The runners both advance, and now Pagan is batting with second and third and 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Hands still nursing along this 2-run Cub lead. And Abernathy still throwing fervently over in the bullpen. Here is the first pitch from Hands. And Pagan lines that one into right field. Hickman cuts it off. That's going to be an RBI single. 1 run is in. The throw comes home. The runner comes home. The slide, and he is safe. So Stargell slides. He scores the game-tying run. Pagan delivers a 2-out, 2-run double. And now the game is tied at 3. Hands will now face Lopez with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. And here's a full count pitch to Lopez. Here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Hands gets out of the inning. The Pirates tie the ball game. We're going to the bottom of the 6th of a 3-all game. So the pitcher's spot is due up third in this inning. Abernathy is warmed up. So we're going to see a pinch hitter. But right now, it's going to be Randy Hundley leading off for the Cubs, and then Adolfo Phillips against Moose here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's a 2-2 count, and Hundley is waiting for the pitch. Popped up to right field. Clemente coming in fast. The second baseman, actually, Mazeroski, calls him off and makes the catch for out number 1. Phillips now facing Moose with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 1-strike count and the pitch to Adolfo Phillips. Grounder towards short. Picked up, thrown over to first, and that is out number 2. So we need to make sure that Mr. Abernathy is ready. And we are going to now see a pinch hitter for the Cubs as Hands goes back to the dugout. And it's going to be in favor of Roger Metzger or Al Montreal. I think that in this case, we're going to actually send up James Burnett. He is going to be the pinch hitter for the pitcher's spot here in the Cubs half of the 6th inning. So Burnett is going to face Moose with 2 outs and nobody on. Here's a 2-2 count. Burnett waiting for the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Got him with a knuckle curve. So Moose gets out of the inning. We go to the top of the 7th of a 3-3 ball game. And now Ted Abernathy is going to be slotted in to be the new pitcher in this ball game. Abernathy is going to face Mazeroski, the pitcher's spot, and then the top of the Pirate lineup. Abernathy with a 3-1 count, facing off against Mazeroski. Here's the pitch. Outside, way outside as a matter of fact, for ball 4. So the Submariner, Abernathy, issues the walk, and it brings up the pitcher, Moose. He is probably going to be looking to lay down the sacrifice here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the first pitch. The runner goes. The throw goes down to second as Hundley gets the throw down there in time, and Mazeroski is out, attempting to steal the base. So the Pirate base runner is eliminated. There is now 1 out, nobody on, and Moose continuing to bat. 2-2 count. Abernathy with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Moose heads back to the dugout with a strikeout to his name, and Fitzmaurice is going to be the next batter. 2 outs, nobody on. 0-2 count from Abernathy. Here is the pitch. Grounder towards short. Kessinger has it. Throws over to Banks, and that will retire the side. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning, it is 3-all here at Wrigley Field. As the fans sit back down from the 7th inning stretch, Don Kessinger comes up. He is going to face Bob Moose here in the bottom of the 7th inning as the Cubs leadoff batter. First pitch to Kessinger, stepping in from the left side. Grounder toward first. Stargell has it. Flips to the pitcher, covering. This time he gets there in time. And the out is recorded for number 1. Billy Williams now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball count to Billy Williams. And he pops that one up the other way to left field. Got it off the end of the bat. The left fielder, Taylor, makes the catch for out number 2. Santo now the batter. 2 outs, nobody on. Santo facing Moose with a 2-2 count. And that's grounder towards short. Picked up, thrown over to first, and Santo's retired for the 3rd out of the inning. We go to the top of the 8th of a 3-3 ball game. So Abernathy is going to face Clemente, Stargell, and Taylor here in the Pirates half of the 8th inning. Abernathy working with a full count and the pitch. Outside for ball 4. So Abernathy issues the leadoff walk. The Pirates have the potential go-ahead run on first, and Stargell is the next batter. Nobody out. 1 man on. Here's the first pitch to Stargell. That one gets away. That rolls all the way to the backstop, and Clemente is going to advance down to second. So the wild pitch allows the base runner to advance, and Stargell still standing in at the plate with a 1-ball count. Here's the pitch. Grounder toward first, picked up by Banks. Throws to Abernathy, covering the base. That is out number 1. The runner, Clemente, advances to 3rd, and now Taylor is the batter. Taylor comes up with 1 out, runner on 3rd, top of the 8th inning. Abernathy needs to work his way out of this inning and hopefully preserve the tie. Here's a full count pitch. Grounder towards short. Kessinger has it, looks the runner back, and throws over to first, and that is out number 2. So Abernathy gets the ground ball that he needed, and the run does not score. Manny Sanguillen is now the next batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. 1-2 count. Abernathy with the pitch. Grounder toward third. Oh, Kessinger has it. Throws over to first, and that is going to end the inning. So the Cubs navigate the base runner at third and do not allow him to score. We're going to the bottom of the eighth of a 3-3 ball game. And we're going to see a new reliever warming up for the Cubs. Regan is actually tired, so Archie Reynolds is going to be the reliever who will be warmed up in this scenario. Now, the Cubs are sending Hickman, Banks, and Beckert up here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Here's a 2-2 count, and Hickman waiting for the pitch. Grounder toward first. Picked up by Stargell. He steps on the base, and that is out number 1. Ernie Banks now the batter with 1 out and nobody on. Here's a 2-1 count to Ernie Banks. Liner into right field. That's going to be a base hit for Banks. He's going to stop at first with a single. So Banks representing the potential go-ahead run over at first. However, I believe this is going to be a situation where we're going to see a pinch runner, yes. Because Banks is not exactly Speedy Gonzalez over there at first base. So the pinch runner is going to be, if I can find the right guy, it's going to be Metzger. Metzger is going to pinch run for Banks at first, and Beckert will be the next batter. Bruce Dalcanton, is going to be the new Pirate pitcher. He has thrown 3 innings, allowed 3 hits, struck out 5, and allowed no earned runs to score. So he inherits a runner on first, Beckert batting. The Cubs trying to break this 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here is a 2-2 count and the pitch to Beckert, and hits popped up to left center field. It looks like it's going to be caught, and it is. That is playable. Taylor makes the catch for out number 2. Randy Hundley now the batter with 2 outs and a runner on first. Hundley looking for the pitch from Dalcanton. And here's the first pitch, and it gets away. It's rolling all the way to the backstop, so the runner's going to advance to second. And now Hundley is going to be batting with the go-ahead run in scoring position. Metzger facing off with Hundley with 2 outs. Runner on second, 1 ball count. Here's the pitch. Oh, and they're going to intentionally walk Randy Hundley. They're going to put him on first and bring up Adolfo Phillips. Phillips has actually been pretty good so far this year. He's 9 for 16 with 3 RBIs, but only 0 for 2 today. Phillips facing Dalcanton with 2 outs, 2 men on. Critical situation here for the Cubs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here is the first pitch to Adolfo Phillips, and he grounds that one towards short. The throw goes over to second. Oh, and everybody's safe. The second baseman, Mazeroski, makes his second error of the game. He drops the ball at second base, and everybody is safe. So now the Cubs are going to send up a pinch hitter. It's going to be Willie Smith for the pitcher, Ted Abernathy. With the bases loaded, the lefty Willie Smith is coming up. He is 0 for 5 on the season so far. 2 outs, bases loaded. Cubs need a base hit to break this game open. Here's the first pitch to Smith. And that's a pop-up, deep left center field, but I believe the park is going to hold it. The center fielder goes over, and Fitzmaurice makes the catch for out number 3. So the Cubs leave the bases loaded. We're going to the top of the 9th inning of a 3-3 tie. So now we're going to see that Willie Smith is going to stay in the ball game to play first base, and Archie Reynolds is going to come over at the number 5 spot and be the new pitcher. So Reynolds is going to face Al Oliver, who is a pinch hitter for the Pirates. The lefty Oliver will face off with the righty Reynolds. Reynolds has thrown 4 2/3 on the season, allowed 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and an ERA of 0. He comes in the top of the 9th inning of a scoreless game. Reynolds facing off with Oliver with a 1-1 count. Reynolds looking for the sign, and here's the pitch. Hit high, Deep right field. That might be it, is gone. The very first batter that Reynolds faces, and that is a solo home run in the top of the ninth inning. 398 feet out to deep right field. So the Pirates now have a 4-3 lead in the top of the ninth, and Reynolds is now going to face Lopez. 0-2 count. Reynolds wishing he had that pitch back. Here it comes. That is the fastball at 93, and Reynolds strikes out Lopez for the first out of the inning. Mazeroski now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Here is the first pitch to Bill Mazeroski. Liner past Santo at third into left field. That's going to be a 1-out single. And so Mazeroski has the single. Standing on first, and that'll bring up the pitcher, Bruce Del Canton. He is going to bat with 1 out, 1 man on. And looks like a sacrifice situation here with a 1-ball count. He lays down the bunt. Hundley picks it up. Throws to first. The sacrifice is successful as the runner advances to second. And now Fitzmaurice is going to bat with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Reynolds facing Sean Fitzmaurice, who is 0 for 4 on the day. Here's a 1-2 count. Reynolds with the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that will end the inning. Well, Archie Reynolds gets up the run, though. The Cubs trail 4-3 going into the bottom of the ninth inning. The Cubs are sending up the top of their lineup. Kessinger, Williams, and Santo here in the bottom of the ninth. And in case that the Cubs should actually tie this game, Phil Regan is going to warm up to potentially pitch in the top of the 10th inning. Here's a 1-strike count, and Kessinger waiting for the pitch. There's a grounder toward first. Sharply hit, but Stargell makes 1 step and makes the play for out number 1. Williams now the batter. Billy Williams coming up with 1 out, nobody on. Here's a 1-1 count to Billy Williams. Grounder up the middle. The pitcher has it. Throws over to first, and that is out number 2. So Del Canton now facing Santo with the Cubs down by 1 and 2 outs in the inning. Nobody on base. 3-1 count to Ron Santo. Here's the pitch. Grounder towards second. Picked up, thrown over to first, and that will end the game. So the Cubs drop the game 4-3. The Pirates get 4 runs on 9 hits while committing 2 errors. The Cubs get 3 runs on 8 hits with 1 error. The player of the game is the Pirates' Bob Moose. He went 7 1/3, scattered 8 hits, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, 4 strikeouts, and 2 walks in the game. Bill Hands, through 6 innings, went with 7 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Much more effective than his last time out. Archie Reynolds is tagged with the loss. He threw the top of the 9th and allowed the go-ahead run to score. So the Cubs dropped to 2-5 while the Pirates improved to 5-2. Thank you for listening to Cubs Baseball.